Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another news roundup with the best boys, GetSelious SithScott. And this time around, we always got some interesting news for you. So, Scott, take it away.
So, the first thing we're going to be talking about is a cosmic horror action RPG called Dolmen that launches on May 20th.
That is interesting. I know that someone in the Outerhaven a lot, his name being Shadowrun, aka Keith, played a lot of Dolmen, and he had a lot of takes about the game. I think he made a video about it. I'm interested to see what the final product of the game is. The demo itself was okay. A lot of it felt like it was inspired a lot by Dead Space, and I do miss Dead Space. Like, Dead Space was a cool game, but that's it from there. Have you played the Dolmen demo or check it out?
But I have checked out the footage that we have on the Outerhaven, and yeah, it definitely has Dead Space vibes to it, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's good. And speaking of vibes, I'll seg it away. This is not to kill the vibes, but as you may know, throughout the currently happening in Europe and in the Russian region, Russia and Ukraine are in conflict, and the Ukrainians now more than ever would need some help. So, I believe, if I'm correct about this, Scott, I believe it's the Humble Bundle people.
This is the itch community.
The itch community. Okay, I just want to be sure. Because the reason why I asked is I know Humble Bundle did something like this a while back. So the itch community, the itch.io, which is another website to purchase video games or try demos out, has raising money for Ukraine by you could purchase a bunch of games for $10. They have a lot of bangers in here. You can play Backbone, you can play Crosscode, you can play Celeste, which is on everything. There's a couple of games in here that I own on my Steam account that I recommend everyone try. Like from 2064 Read Only Memories, Baba Is You. They are an excellent title of games here, and your proceeds will go to an organization, All This Bundle Ukraine, and all proceeds go to charity. So basically, if you want to help the Ukrainian people in this time of very hard crisis, check this out. The link will be in the description below, and you can do what you can to help them out. At minimum, all you need is $10. That's it. Just put a minimum of $10. You get a whole bunch of games, and be helping out people who are in the middle of a conflict crisis.
It definitely looks to be one of those bundles of a ton of great games. I think one of my favorite ones actually that I noticed that I played a while back was the Danger Crew, where it's a fun just little like RPG game that takes place, and it's like a IT type team that are doing like game programming stuff, but it takes place as an RPG. It's actually really fun.
That is cool.
So that's one of the included games that I was excited about looking at. And it's one I would recommend, but at the same time, not everyone has the same desires of like, I love game programming and IT and all computers things. So.
True. Well, if you buy this bundle, you're guaranteed to get at least something you like. I guarantee for sure. I mean, they got action games, they got RPG games, they got visual novel games. They got games that I played that I recommend playing with people. Like one of the more funnier puzzle games I played a while back was called Minute, where you literally have a minute to solve a puzzle. It's very, very cool. It's a very interesting game. And as Baba Is You is another weird like puzzle game, but it's very fun to play. But definitely, what makes me really cool about this, not just the great deal you're gonna get, is the fact is that all these developers, all these publishers decided to put this bundle together on itch.io, in the community decides, you know what, we're gonna put this bundle together, you get a whole bunch of stuff, and for that, we're gonna use this money to help out the people in Ukraine in this conflict crisis. And so far, as of this recording, they have raised over $2 million.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. So it makes me feel good, you know, that regardless if you are buying this for a deal or you're buying this to support the people of Ukraine, both options are good because you're doing something to help people in need, and I think it's always nice. A little bit goes a long way for everyone, you know.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. All right, so Scott, take us away with the next topic.
So, next topic, our friends over at Team Bewitched have made their announcement trailer for the next game they're making, which is Absinthia. And they also have put a pre-launch Kickstarter for it. So you can basically just notify when the Kickstarter goes live.
Yes, that's pretty cool. And I believe they mentioned on their website that the game will be released towards the end of this year, which is like late 2022 and early 2023. So far from seeing the trailer of the game, I can definitely comment that one, the pixel art's pretty good, but the music is phenomenal. Most of the music is composed by Jazz Stewart, and they did wonderful work. Almost as good as one of my favorite music composers, Thomas Reagan. And I remember, Scott, have I told you about Thomas Reagan?
You have told me a few times about Thomas Reagan.
Yeah, you should definitely go to his YouTube channel, listen to his music. But no, all seriousness, the music is well composed within the trailer. I think it's phenomenal. This is a game I'll be looking a lot forward to. With no spoilers of it. Story-wise, the game has between 8 to 12 hours of play, which I think is awesome. So it's a good RPG for those who are looking for engaging content but not a little up there. The game will have turn-based combat, and the game for this is really interesting, will have an all queer cast, which is very interesting for storytelling and fantasy. I think it'll be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing the project completed in this way. The interesting part about it too is that because the game will be between 8 to 12 hours, someone like myself can stream it and not feel guilty that I didn't finish it.
I do feel that. I think I still haven't finished Halo Infinite on stream, and that's something.
Oh, jeez. Can you do the worst, off tangent here, you know the worst games to stream, even though my favorite series, the worst games to stream are Yakuza games, because I play so much Yakuza games, and Yakuza, though you don't have to do the side quests, you should do the side quests to get some extra power-ups, or get extra abilities, and no one wants to see the grind, alright?
It's always annoying, because you have to have, like, what's entertaining and what's, too grindy, so I understand that.
Yeah.
So it's nice when, like, I think that's one thing I like really about the newer RPGs that are coming out, especially with like Absinthia, is they have it as like a difficulty setting where it's not necessary for you to grind. It's something that you can basically have more fast-paced battles and be able to basically utilize strategy more so than power leveling.
Oh, 100%. This is one of the reasons why I'm a huge fan of Robert Boyd's games, the creator of Constant Star Heroine and Cthulhu Saves the World, Cthulhu's Christmas. His games are heavily based on like limited battles and just using strategy to win over. So I like those games a lot too, because it rewards you understanding things than you just being the OP beat stick,
Yeah. We don't need any of those old Dragon Quest games where we have to grind for hours on end before we can actually go to the next story beat.
Yeah, as a Dragon Quest fan, Dragon Quest 3 was the game. It didn't break me my youth, but I hated it so much because I couldn't beat the first tower until I was like level 10, and the game you start level 2 or 3. So fun. Yeah.
They streamlined that a whole lot better on Dragon Quest 11.
They sure did.
Also allowing the auto battles and the speed grind, so you can just basically what I used to do before bed, I'd spend just an hour grinding by just having my person walk around in a circle and attack everything that keeps following you.
That's
auto battle.
Oh god, that sounds fun. And speaking of games that are being grindy, so one of the best strategy RPGs in the world, and I do mean this, the best strategy RPGs in the world is the Disgaea series. Disgaea 6 will be coming out on June 20th, 2022 for PS5, PS4, and PC. For the Disgaea fans out there, this is lit. Disgaea 6 is pretty good. Personally, I love Disgaea 5. That's one of my favorite games because that the singing intro music that you get in the lobby is a banger. So far for you, I love it. Anyway, I love it. But I'm looking forward to this game for it because another reason is I hate to put it politely. I believe that I'll put it polite. This was I had to say this, Scott. I love my VTubers, right?
I know. I definitely know.
Okay, so Watame Mama, she did nothing wrong. Sorry, Watame from Hollow Live, Fubaki, Flare, Polka, and Rusia are actually playable characters you can unlock, so you can download and put in the game.
Yeah.
So these are characters that you can use to be in your game. I can finally have my VTubers punching with my demon friends, beating up everybody. This is great.
Doing your 1000-bit combos and having so much damage.
Exactly. And I can finally say in game, Watame did nothing wrong, but she kills that 8 demon, right?
You're just gonna do a run where Watame has to be the one to beat all the bosses.
You know what? If I have the recording skill, I feel like I would do that and put it on our YouTube page. Like, Watame did nothing wrong, just her beating every boss. I grinded her to the max. Dude, oh god. But I'm really looking forward to the game. I personally picking up the complete edition. The complete edition most likely comes with all the DLC, so I'll probably much killer to Disgaea 5 in the complete edition. You'll probably get all the characters from Disgaea 1, Disgaea 2, Disgaea 3. You'll get them. It seems to be like a running theme in the Disgaea series. The complete edition of Disgaea games, you unlock all the characters from the previous game and playable characters in your game. So
Makes sense.
So basically, yeah. Obviously, there'll be more boards. Maybe you'll get, hopefully they'll give additional key to the OST. It'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Disgaea is a very hard but very rewarding strategy RPG game, and I personally enjoy it just for the difficulty point of it. So Scott, have you ever played the Disgaea games or?
I played 2, 5. I played a little bit of 6, but I only started because I found it at the library.
Oh, that's true.
And then realized someone else already put data on it, so yeah.
You should probably get on the Steam. Hopefully, you'll have a Steam sale. You can buy the complete editions on the Steam.
Yeah.
But Disgaea 5, the music is amazing. Have you heard the scenes so far from you?
Yes. I also love how much they do with like the printies in the Disgaea series. Those are my favorite characters.
Oh man, that's true. And speaking of things that's gonna be heartbreaking, Scott, did you hear what happened to Pillars of Eternity 2?
They're no longer coming to the Nintendo Switch, of all things.
Interesting, yeah. Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, is a character CRPG, similar to games like, you could say, like Shadowrun or Baldur's Gate. It's not coming to the Switch. That's very weird because, even though CRPGs I play occasionally are very niche, and I understand, but they were announcing to come to the Switch, and then it's like, nope. That's such a weird thing to do, you know?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of sad, and I wonder if they either have another like port coming down the line for it, or if they're just gonna get rid of it entirely and not even trying to put it onto the Switch.
Maybe they're not. I mean, graphically speaking, like, oh no, the graphical Switch is bad. I don't even think graphically speaking it matters as much. I mean, because the game is zoomed out anyway in combat, so you're not really, yeah.
They don't have to worry too much about how high quality their resolution is.
Exactly. I personally think though this was not a good decision. I guess like this because they just put it in, and I'm not saying it would hurt them, maybe because again there's always when it comes to porting games over, there's a price obviously to pay on a platform, all that jazz. Maybe that would cost that, but I do feel like the Switch, similar to the Sony, to the PS4. And Steam are very good platforms for RPGs. Like, regardless of whatever RPG you have. I mean, we were just gushing about Disgaea 6, and we just recently talked about Absinthia coming out soon. And Absinthia has been said will come out to Steam, which is a good platform, and itch.io. And maybe down the line they'll be on other platforms, but definitely, like, the RPG explosion the last couple of years is because the multi-platform effect. So the fact that Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire will not be on the Switch, I think will hurt them overall because there'll be less people trying to get into the games. Especially CRPG games. CRPG games are like the most kind of obscure or harder games to get into because, I mean, honestly, Scott, did you play Shadow? This is not an insult to you or anything. Have you ever played Shadowrun?
I haven't played Shadowrun, no.
Do you ever play Baldur's Gate?
I did. I love Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate 2?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you played some of them, but you see like, oh, have you played Divinity 2? Or the Divinity series?
Nah, but I've had some people want me to try to play it with them. So.
Exactly. But you see how like there's such a limited amount of CRPGs and the platforms they're on. It matters that if the more exposure to get, more people will try it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those like genres that spread a lot more through word of mouth than anything.
That is true. And speaking of word of mouth, things happening. Scott, give us the rundown before Forespoken Delay.
We had a bit of a trailer of Forespoken last year that not a lot of people were very interested in. I wasn't too. I mean, I thought it was okay. I think Forespoken itself is just an interesting concept. But it turns out that instead of making it May, it's now going to be an October release for Forespoken. So they have like a whole 6 months change. I'm not entirely sure what the point is, but I'm guessing they want to polish it up, especially if we see the last few Square Enix games that have come out. They haven't had the best polish on them, let's say.
True. Yeah, and we're referring to is I know they were published under them, but Avengers was a hot mess. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, not Guardians of the Galaxy, it's one. Guardians of the Galaxy didn't sell as well as they expected it to be. So Square, when it comes to some of these Western properties, has not been meeting expectation, at least for them.
Yeah, which is kind of sad because I like Guardians of the Galaxy. I have a kind of a love-hate relationship with Avengers, and I didn't really want to do much more of Babylon's Fall that just came out. So
yeah,
they definitely need to figure out what it is they want to do with the Western releases, because it feels like they are all in with the Final Fantasy stuff, but as soon as they try to choreograph with other developers with whatever they want to work on, it kind of, I don't know, they just aren't focused as much as it should be. And so hopefully with Forespoken that can change. I hope that it is better than I guess what people are thinking it'll be, but at the same time I do like how it's a very fast-paced open world type game that's more focused on the movement than it is about the collection and everything. Because I think that itself can be a pretty decent idea, making it just based on the speed of jumping, running, and going through different places in more of an open sandbox kind of area.
True. I just hope it doesn't come with bugs or anything like that. One might say they hope they take, as we mentioned in our previous news roundup, that Sega opened a Sapporo studio designed just particularly to do debugging and quality control. Maybe they can make one for Western things. But yeah, you are right on the trend that when it comes to their own properties or let's say Square Enix Japan, they are topped on. They got the top guys. They make sure it's okay. They make sure everything runs as great as possible. But because these Western properties, they're hope for the best. And I don't think that carefree attitude works, because at the end of the day, it still hurts their bottom line if they release a product that doesn't hit their standards, or in some instances, not Guardians, like Avengers was subpar.
Yeah. Hopefully they get more, triangle strategies out there.
Oh god, that's such a great game.
It's good. I wish they had taken the name to a drawing board a few times.
It sounds cool on paper. I mean, the triangle, the delta. They can't call it Illuminati strategy. It'd be too obvious, Conspiracy theories, bro. Come on.
I mean, they could do something with Delta. That'd be kind of cool, but
the delta. Oh man. And with that, that is the end of this news roundup. So in this news roundup, we discussed that the Absinthia announcement, the game will be coming out late 2022, or between the early 2023. It is an independent RPG created by Team Bewitched, with an all queer cast and an amazing soundtrack composed by Jazz Stewart. We also discussed that the cosmic horror action RPG game, that's a mouthful, Dolmen, comes out on May 20th, 2022 for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. We also discussed about the Ukraine game bundle on itch.io, which we'll be putting a link in the description. It has a bunch of games for $10 to help out the Ukrainian people in this time of extreme conflict. We also discussed that Disgaea 6, its complete edition, will launch on June 28th, 2022 for PS5, PS4, and PC. And Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire will no longer be coming out to the Switch, so you guys, if you want to play Pillars of Eternity 2, I recommend playing the PC version or the platform. And we discussed the Forespoken Delay, which has Scott. What's the timeline for it? It
moves from May to October.
Right, which hopefully will help the game out because, again, Square Enix has not had the best track record for some of their Western titles in a while. We're looking forward to the success of this game, and hopefully everything moves on smoothly. So, with that, this is GetSelious SithScott signing out. Be sure to, if you like the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and follow our socials in the link below. Thank you, and have a good one.
See ya.